What are you consuming? Because whatever you're consuming will consume you. And I want to talk to you about being in a special operations community. It was one of the richest experience I've had in my military career. And I love so many parts of it. And I want to tell you that being black in the special operations community is a whole nother experience. And I've learned many things from that as well. But I want to get to a point here, and I got to tell you a little bit of a story. So we were doing a swim competition, and naturally in an organization, when you've got the best of the best, there's going to be a healthy level of competition that exists in almost everything and anything that you do. And so we were doing pool physical training this one particular morning, and we were doing a swim competition, and you just had to stay afloat. You couldn't allow your feet to touch the ground, or you couldn't touch the sides of the pool. And I want to let y'all know, hey, I didn't grow up swimming. I didn't grow up swimming for high school or in college or anything like that. I learned to swim when I was a kid because I almost drowned and my dad taught me how to swim. So we're in this swim competition, and as we're in this swim competition, people are starting to give up, and they're getting out the pool, and I'm still in there, and I'm still treading water, and I'm still swimming back and forth. And there came a point in time where I felt like I was being succumbed by my fatigue, and I started going under the water, but I refused to touch the bottom of the pool. And I realized in that moment that there were things that I had heard subconsciously that were living within inside me. I was tired of hearing the voices of black people can't swim. Like, I know you've heard it before. It's a stigma that still exists today. And so I would hear things like that. And those were some of the experiences of being black in a special operations community that I didn't enjoy. There were many other things that I did enjoy, but I just want to tell you I didn't enjoy that one. And I would hear that voice over and over every time that I went underwater, every time I was beginning to become succumbed by my fatigue. That was the voice that I heard. And so I wasn't fighting against my ego. I wasn't fighting just because I wanted to win a competition. I was fighting because I wanted to reverse. I wanted to be a change agent in that moment. I wanted to reverse what people were saying about black people in water, black people and being able to swim. I didn't want to hear that voice anymore. And so that's what I was swimming for. And sometimes you're placed in organizations. Sometimes you're placed in your family, which may not be the best or may be a great family, but you're placed as a change agent. You're placed to transform that organization, or you're placed in order to reverse generational curses in your family. And that takes a heavy load on you. And so where I'm going with this is that whatever you're consuming, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're hearing is something that is going to consume you in your moments of stress. And so if you're consuming God's word, if you're consuming things of love, if you're consuming negative things, then that is going to consume you when you're stressed. It's the subconscious voice that becomes the loudest when everything in us becomes tired, when our mind becomes tired, when our bodies become tired. Subconsciously, there are things that are going to live and that are going to be louder to us. So what are you feeding yourself? What are you feeding your dreams every day? What kind of positive things are you feeding your soul each and every day? Because that's what matters the most in a stressful situation. And so we already know that we're going to face difficult situations. We already know sometimes you're going to wake up tired. Sometimes you're not going to want to get out the bed. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I want to give myself a moment off. And I want to tell you that sometimes you got to stop being so nice to yourself. And you got to tell yourself, hey, I'm not giving myself a pass today. I'm not giving myself any grace today. Because if I ask myself if my dreams are going to be achieved if I just take this rest, if my dreams are going to be achieved if I take a day off, if my dreams are going to be achieved if I take my foot off the gas just a little bit, if the answer is no, then you got to say no. You got to tell your own fatigue that, hey, I've got something to do. I've got somewhere to go. I've got somewhere to be, and my dreams are not waiting for me to get over my own fatigue. Generational curses aren't waiting for me to get over my own sorrow. Generational curses aren't waiting for me to get out of my own pain, to get out of my own struggle. I have to actively do something about it. I have to actively create some motion. I have to actively create some momentum. And that means getting up when I'm tired. That means pressing forward when I'm in pain. That means trying harder even when it feels like I'm struggling, when it feels like I'm going through things and nothing in life is going the way I need it to go. It means crying out. It means screaming. It means pressing forward in the midst of everything that is going on, because my dreams are so much bigger. So where are you when it sits with your purpose? Where are you when it means being aligned to your goals? Where are you when your dreams feel like you're being succumbed because of your fatigue? Where are you when it feels like the water is covering over your head? Where are you when it feels like you can't breathe? Where are you in your dreams when it feels like everything and the weight of the world is pressing down upon you? You got to ask yourself, how big are your dreams? You got to ask yourself, how important is it in order to get to the next level? You got to ask yourself, how important is it to make some progress today? How important is it? Because if it's important, then you've got to get up. If it's important, then you've got to make some progress. If it's important, then regardless of what it looks like to your eye, you've got to continue to believe. You become consumed by what you're consuming. So are you consuming the right things today? And if you're consuming the right things today, then tomorrow in your most stressful moment, you're going to have victory. Tomorrow in your most stressful moment, you're going to have success because you've done the work. You've prepared yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Do the work. Stop taking days off. Stop giving yourself a pass. Stop being so nice to yourself and saying, I deserve a little grace today. I love y'all, and I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you that if you want to reach your dreams, then you got to stop taking days off. Have a blessed one.